Let's celebrate the magic of short stories and poems. They are truly magical, aren't they? They make us feel happiness, heartbreak, horror, hope, hatred, and so much more. Namaste, people. Welcome to Shweta's Basket, a weekly stories and poems podcast, and I'm your host, Shweta Singh. The poem that I have for you today calls for deep introspection of the kind of person you are, and with that insight, perhaps, time to rethink yourself. The poem was first published in an international anthology titled The Asian Writer. It's written by versatile and prolific author Vibha Batra, who gave us Vishnu and the Two Glasses of Milk. Vibha is a Chennai-based author, graphic novelist, advertising consultant, poet, lyricist, translator, playwright, travel writer, speaker, and columnist. She has published 18 books, including The Secret Life of Debbie G, Bhatinda to Bangkok, the Rinky series titled Sweet 16, 17 and Done, 18 and Wiser, and the popular Pinku Shergill pastry chef. The absolute endearing story about Prabhajot Shergill, who secretly aspires to be a pastry chef. For the complete list of her books and where you can buy them on Amazon, check out the show notes. She has contributed short stories and poems to the Chicken Soup series, international anthologies in print magazines and e-zines. You can connect with Vibha on Facebook and Insta, and the links to both will be in the show notes. So here's her poem, Does It Happen to You? Does it happen to you? Do you find yourself saying, I will be happy only when my dream comes true? Does it happen to you? Do you quickly move on to another dream the moment one does come true? Does it happen to you? Do you set store by the future, forgetting that the present is as important too? Does it happen to you? Do you rush through life without enjoying the view? Does it happen to you? Do you keep chasing old dreams when things cry out for review? Does it happen to you? Do you gaze wistfully at yesterday and wonder how time flew? Does it happen to you? Do you cry over yesterday when today has dawned fresh as dew? Does it happen to you? Do you let a dream take over without thinking things through? Does it happen to you? Do you look back on your life and wish you could start anew? Does it happen to you? Do you sometimes rue the person you grew into? Does it happen to you? Do you live your dream and realize you are one of the lucky few? By using this refrain, does it happen to you, 11 times at the beginning of each stanza, it almost feels as if Vibha is addressing different parts of me. Like she's talking to me at different stages in my life. At one point or the other, all of us have given up on our dreams, or focused on the future, or rushed in life and wondered where the time has gone, and thought that I will rest or relax or be with my family after I have achieved a certain milestone. Or, so typical of us ladies, sometimes we think that I will think about myself once the kids have left home. But at times, by then, it is too late. So let's take some time and introspect. If nothing else, this pandemic has taught us to sort our priorities. And if you look at the last two lines, do you live your dream and realize you are one of the lucky few? Well, it is a tragedy if you don't. What if you're so caught up with what others are doing that you don't even realize that you are living your dream life? But you don't realize that, and you thus can't be grateful about it. Today, if we have a family and a source of income, then we are blessed. Hold on to your family and hug them close and be grateful. And on that note of gratitude, that I have my podcast that makes me happy, let's move on to the one question section. Last week I asked you, what is the time of death? From the story, A Peculiar Predicament by Sonal Singh. The right answer is 10:47 a.m. And the right answer was sent to us by Vasudha ji. You know, guys, she not only listens to the episodes and sends in her answers, but she also shares my Facebook post for that particular episode. And all this takes time and effort, and I'm truly grateful to her for this. As a podcaster, that's what keeps me going. Your response and your engagement. Thank you to her and to all my listeners who have taken out time from their busy lives to listen to the podcast. And now, here is the one question for this week. How many times does the poet use the refrain, "Does it happen to you?" And as you know, now sending in your answers is super easy. All you have to do is DM me on Facebook or Instagram, or email your answers to shweta@shwetasbasket.com. And continuing our theme of laughter and chuckles, join me next Friday when I present to you a story titled Much Ado About a Burp, written by Kaberi Mukherjee. And guys, that brings me to the end of this episode. Do subscribe to my website www.shwetasbasket.com so that you're always up to date with what's new in the basket. And stories and poems are not the only things. You will find book, movie and restaurant reviews in the basket too. And if you enjoyed this episode, then follow or like the podcast, share our episode on your timeline and tag us, and recommend us to your friends. Help us reach more people. Shweta's Basket is available on 18 different platforms like Spotify, Apple and Google Podcasts, Gaana, JioSaavn and others. We're also on YouTube. For the complete list, check out the show notes. And if you want to get in touch with me, I am on Facebook and Instagram, and my handle is Shweta's Basket. And guys, in this day and age, it's a good idea to have a website. So if you're thinking of having one, then listen on, because having a good-looking and professional website is just a click away. In the meantime, this is your host, Shweta Singh, signing off. Till we meet again on the air next Friday. Bye for now. Do you want to have a website of your own? Are you a writer, photographer, actor, makeup artist, hairstylist, or even a tutor, singer, painter, journalist, consultant? Or do you have your own cafe, restaurant, resort, holiday home, shop, small business, hospital, or even a blog, WordPress or Blogspot account that you want to migrate to a good-looking website? Well, look no further. The geeks will help you, and you will find them in the Geeks Room at Artoons Inn. Just click on the link in the episode description. Yes, it's that simple to have a website. My website is hosted and managed by them. And want to know what I love about them? They are professional, customer pleasers, straight talkers, and very confidently priced. So what are you waiting for? Your website is just a click away.